So if you notice on the, I can't pull it up right now, not seeing it, but on the Skype, I copied and pasted a paragraph. Are you able to see it?
I don't know if I can. Hang on. They've changed it. Chat, there you go. Yes, I can see it. Where, the paragraph. So shall I read this paragraph of what you've read out?
Please, thank you.
What is the basis for preparing a horoscope? Is it the time of birth? Is it really the birth of the child, or that of time? The activities happen as per time, and we think ourselves to be the doer. Such thinking is our tendency, which is called as mind. The unborn has not taken any birth. With the Guru's grace, the false ideas of your birth will go. No one has any experience of birth, and the body identity is also equally false. From teachings of Nisargadatta, Sri Nisargadatta. Nice.
So,
beautiful.
So my question, yeah, thank you. So my question was about the part where it says no one has any experience of birth. And I've seen it written quite a few times, and I was always curious on that question because it seems that from the memory, the person's memory point, there's no memory yet established at that age. So how is it possible from the first place to experience one's own birth? And so I always find that kind of an impossible task. I
Yeah.
tried myself to go back there from memory, but it's just not possible. So it's almost like it's trying to show proof that, I, the true I was never born. But how can I really experience any proof of it where there was no memory at that point in time?
Yeah. So to me, like when he says this, and I don't know what he means by that, but when he says this, the way I interpret it is with the Guru's grace. So I presume I'm the Guru in the grace. That's a joke. The false idea of your birth will go. No one has any experience of birth, and the body identity is also equally false. So to me, I don't think he means like the coming out of the womb. I think he means the birth as in this illusion that there is actually somebody inside this body. So I think, or I interpret it, as meaning the birth of the identity, the one that thinks it was born, the one that believes it was born, whereas there's nobody that was born and there's nobody that dies.
So basically, it's basically an illusion. It's a mind illusion. It's mind created rather than an actual fact.
Yeah, and it's not so much about memory of your birth, of physical birth. Some people do have memory of the birth, but it's more like this birth of you. There isn't a you inside the body. Like when you were 2 years old, you weren't David.
Right, so it's the egoic birth. Yeah.
Yeah, the egoic, but that's how I interpret it. You've never been that David. And when the body dies, it's not David. There's not a David that dies. It just seems like there's a David that dies because we tell stories of that. There is a David that was alive, and then there's a David that dies, but who is that?
Yes.
It's a beautiful quote, though. Really beautiful.
Yeah. The other question that I had was about desires, attachment, and identification. And is it really possible to to totally detach or to totally disidentify or to not have desires? I don't think that it's really possible. um, as a human being.
Mm.
I think there is possible to work on it, and there's some improvements, gradual improvements. But so my understanding is that it's really all in the moment. It's 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. Meaning,
Mm.
the only way that I can detach from that is to be present. So it's not about the future. It's about just now, and that's the only way that it makes sense to me.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. The way that I feel it here is that the body is an illusion, but we have the appearance of this body, and this body has desires, and it's natural to have desires, otherwise the body wouldn't move. So there is a desire to go to the toilet, there is a desire to have dinner, there is a desire to walk outside, there is a desire to work, there is a desire to spend money, to buy birthday gifts, whatever it is, the body has a desire to do things. But ultimately, the body is an illusion. So in this moment, there isn't any desires. Like right
so how,
now, there
yes,
isn't any
yes,
desire. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes. So, yeah, is it effective to practice witnessing?
Mm, effective to get where? Like the destination meaning
To
that.
destination meaning to realize the self.
A lot of people say it is effective. I don't know. Don't know in the end. Like, like what I would say is that for sure it settles down the person. So there is a reduction and seeking and settling down the person. But then I would say I don't know if that collapses the person or not. But then I would also say, who is this person that will be collapsed? So who is it that wants to be collapsed and wants to disappear? And just
Yeah,
noticing that there is this freedom right here, right now. And that is a story that's arising of you witnessing and the collapsing of you. So basically, I'm answering yes and no.
I think energetically, it's the only way that I can experience it. And
Yeah.
experience is just a word, but because I cannot understand it. I can only, it's kind of like a sense of very, peaceful and calm.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
and
So if it's resonating with you, that's perfect. Like if that's
yeah,
how you feel, then that's perfect. Like it's like my advice, if any, is to move towards that which feels expansive. So that
yes,
would be my advice. But then also knowing that there's nobody that moves to anything. There is simply this moment, which is free.
yeah.
It's here right now.
I really also enjoyed the previous caller mentioning about, allowing
Mm.
and acceptance, because, during the day with the stresses of, um, the daily activities,
Mm.
um, there is a lot of pain
Mm.
because of for myself, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
the immense identification and the holding on for dear life, and the resistance is very painful.
Mm.
So I really appreciate the reminder of just allowing even the resistance to
Yeah. Totally.
to exist and to come and go.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah. Pleasure, David. Lovely to speak to you again.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Yeah. You too. Bye.